guys! Welcome back to another launch stream with me, Monmon. Today we are unveiling the newest Soldier Conker resin statue. The perfect combo of cute and aggro presented in wonderful details and colors. Now we've released a Conker resin statue before with Conker on his throne, which was really cute. And with this Soldier Conker resin statue, he's still going to be cute, but the overall visuals have more momentum. And the aesthetic is more movement-based. Now, as players progress further in the video game, Conker becomes a soldier and fights Teddies, a race of robotic teddy bear-like creatures. Now in the game, we can see that Conker wears a green combat helmet while sporting his signature blue hoodie and sneakers, which will be wonderfully replicated just like this! Standard edition of Soldier Conker resin statue. First, let's talk about Conker himself. Since we released Conker before, getting his face and body right was easier this time, as we already had the experiences of translating the retro graphics to a resin statue form. One of the techniques that our team used to translate Conker to a more realistic version was adding a distinct texture to the whole of his body from his head to his toes, and of course his tail as well. Now the texture also varies in style. For example, the fur on his feet and abdomen have a finer texture than that of the tail. This makes each part of Conker more distinct as well as realistic. Now in terms of painting him, the majority of Conker's body is painted with a bright orange, and yellow is used in the face to highlight Conker's eyebrows. White is used on his abdomen and the tip of his tail, and the edges of the white have been blended into the orange part of the fur using yellow. And black was used for his cute little snout as well. Now the part of Conker that required more precise application would be his eyes, which in this case are a bright blue. Now his eyes look animated and round, which is a very nice adaptation of his video game counterpart. Now the expression is so aggro, but gosh, he looks adorable, especially with the small little details like the front teeth and tongue, which are also sculpted and colored too. The look of our previously released Conker statue had a more static vibe since he was sitting. So in contrast to the previously released statue, this Conker has a sense of movement brought by not only his pose, but also by his structural design of this outfit. Now Conker is atop the base with his legs apart, holding a gun on either of his hands. Now the pose itself looks very combat ready, making him look more dynamic. He is sporting his blue hoodie with zipper and 2 white drawstrings. They've all been sculpted to look as if it's in the air due to Conker's movement. And by adding this detail, it helps to convey a sense of movement. Now to further the active vibe of the statue, Conker's outfit is very colorful. Now his hoodie is a shade of blue that is akin to his eyes, with a lighter shade being used to bring dimension to what is essentially a flat surface. Now his shoes are also painted with a darker but still pretty bright blue, with yellow painted on the fronts of the sneakers and the eyelets. Now sporty, retro white and red was used for the soles, and the colors are taken from Conker's video game counterparts, so the resemblance is uncanny. Now the laces and eyelets are sculpted to look raised as well as three-dimensional too. The character design is also very evident with the added combat helmet, the submachine guns in his hands, and the tiny cigar in his mouth. Now let's talk about his guns first. The effect replicated on each gun is different. The one that Conker's holding on his left is in the midst of firing, hence the sculpted orange fire effect. And on his right, the sculpted smoke at the muzzle of the gun emulates the cartoon effect of a gun that's been shot. Both effects go hand in hand to tell the story of Conker when he was fighting the Teddies. Now both guns are sculpted to look like the illustration in the game, so each part is dimensional. Now even the texture on the handle of the gun has been sculpted too. Now besides the guns, a big part of Conker's outfit, especially from the part of the game that our team was inspired by, it is the combat helmet, which has these straps sculpted on either side. And you can even see a little buckle at the end of one of them. Now the combat helmet itself has a simple design with a white, slightly rustic logo to emulate how it may have been rubbed off slightly due to battle. And finally, the cigar in his mouth. Now it's got the burnt cigar ash detail at the end of it, and you can also see on the sides the cigar wrapper. Now the ash is painted a light gray with charcoal and brown to imitate burnt cigar ashes, and the sculpt also makes it look as if the ash could fall, which adds to the realistic aspect. Just seeing Conker with his aggressive guns and lit cigar is really a visual shock. Much like when I found out that he is an alcohol-drinking, swearing squirrel. Adorable and deadly. Sound like someone I know. And to pair with Soldier Conker, our team chose to use a base that has elements that beckons back to the 8th chapter of the game. It's war. Now the base is inspired by the Teddies base beachhead. At the beachhead in the game, players can see barbed wires and flames everywhere. So our team added barbed wires on the sides with flame accents. The flames are not only sculpted to imitate the look of flames flowing in the wind, but also painted with orange and yellow to look more like realistic fire. Now the barbed wires here are also sculpted to make the individual strand of the wires stand out as if it's not been all casted at the same time. Now the wires are painted silver with a slight brush or a dark shade to imitate the color of real barbed wires that aren't brand new. Now having the mixture of realistic and cartoony features, it helps to bridge the gaps between the graphics of the 2001 video game and this resin statue of Soldier Conker. Now, and as usual, our team at F4F went a few extra steps further in our exclusive edition to really bring out Conker's story here. Let me bring over the exclusive edition. Here he is! Now I'm sure those of you with a keen eye can already tell that all the wonderful details in the standard edition will all be included in the exclusive edition. So whether you want the exclusive edition features or not, Conker will look awesome. Anyways, back to the exclusive edition. Now we always include the LED functions, which I'm sure fans of ours would know, but if you're new here, the LED functions are a feature that our team at F4F likes to include in the exclusive edition to provide other collectors with other options when it comes to displaying the statue. Now with the exclusive edition of Soldier Conker, we've included 2 LED modes, static and animated, and more than one feature will light up. Once it is in static mode, the gun on his left hand that's firing as well as the end of the cigar will light up. Yes, even the cigar will light up. How cool is that? And when you switch it over to animated mode, each feature will have its own distinct light animation. Now the flames will pulse as if it is burning in the wind, the gun on his left hand will have the animation that imitates a gun firing, and the tip of the cigar will pulse as if Conker is smoking it. Now our team could have gone with just the animation of the fire, but adding the distinct light animations to the other features really show our team's meticulous care for details. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to display Conker in static or animated mode. Anyways, with that, let's do a recap of all the features in both the standard and the exclusive editions of Soldier Conker Resin Statue. Pew pew!
This is gonna be interesting. What's going on there?
Great recap, guys! Now, as you've seen, both our standard and exclusive editions have the same sculptural details, which really is nice because the focus is solely on Conker and the features help to emphasize his character design. However, that's not all that's amazing about Conker, so our team decided to design a grander version of the statue, which is why now's the time to reveal the Soldier Conker Resin Statue Definitive Edition. First thing first, there's water detail that's been added to the base, so we get an extension of the beachhead. Now the white added to the edges of the rivets and bumps help to imitate the look of waves crashing into the beach. Now the white is most opaque on the edge, and then specks of white was used to blend into the water. Now there's a hidden detail within the water feature itself, and that there's 2 bullets that has been shot into the water. Moreover, you can also see the distinct water trail behind the bullets that emulates the trajectory of them, and it gives an exciting sense of momentum to the statue. Partly submerged in the water is also this desertic combat helmet that's been painted green with specks of light brown to imitate the look of paint that's been scratched off through the battle. There's also a piece of anti-gravity chocolate right on the edge of the beachhead going into the water. The anti-gravity chocolates represent Conker's life bar in the game. He starts with 6 pieces of a chocolate bar, and then he will lose them if he gets injured. Now having this one little piece here is a nice beckoning back to the single player mode of the video game, when players would grab the chocolate to replenish Conker's health. Now our team chose such a perfect milk chocolate shade and paired it with a 3-dimensional sculpt of a piece of chocolate bar. And it looks so good that it looks good enough to eat. Don't eat it though, don't. A major change for the standard and exclusive edition of Soldier Conker would be the inclusion of all these dead teddies. They are right underneath Conker's feet because they've been defeated. Now you can see that there are a total of 3 teddies' heads, and one of them's got their eye popped out, and all of them are lying atop the cotton stuffing that has been spilled out from the defeated teddies. Now all the teddies have large stitch details on their face, head, and limbs. Some seams were designed to look as if they were coming apart, giving reason to the cotton stuffing. Now the teddies also have fur texture that's been sculpted in, but the fur details are more streamlined compared to Conker's. The majority of their bodies are painted with a brown color. Light brown was added to the area between the eyes to help highlight the dimension of their faces. The snout, sole of the feet, and the center of the ears are also painted with a lighter brown, and they have a smoother texture in comparison to the fur details. Now the cotton stuffing has been sculpted to look scattered and overflowing, having bits and pieces on top of the teddies themselves. Now the dimensions on the stuffing is emphasized with the use of white to highlight and a lighter brown to add shadow. Now the stuffing follows a more vague structure so as not to take away from the details of the statue as well as the rest of the teddies. Moreover, real cotton stuffing never looks harsh anyways, so having a more rounded shading emulates just that. The definitive edition of Soldier Conker also has 2 LED modes, static and animated. And just like the exclusive edition, the flames around the beachhead, the firing effect of the left gun, and the tip of his cigar will light up. Now with this edition, since we've added the water detail at the base, the lights will reflect and refract due to the translucent material used for the water detail. This creates a really cool dynamic effect. And with our definitive edition, our team has included so many awesome features, and there's just so much to look at. The inclusion of the teddies and the water all ties into the story of Conker at the beachhead battle with the statue even more. Now let's watch a recap of the features in the definitive edition in Soldier Conker resin statue, and then we can spill the tea on pricing. Pew pew!
Hello? I think he's died. Are you dead? Hey, I'm hungry.
And we are back. Here we have our previously released Conker resin statue alongside our newest Soldier Conker, the definitive edition, with 2 LED modes and a more detailed base. Now the previously released Conker is so cute with the juxtaposition of his size and the large throne. And our new Soldier Conker resin statue looks so badass with his combat helmet, guns blazing, and a lit cigar in his mouth. The pose and base design creates a momentum for the whole statue that makes it super dynamic. And having these 2 Conkers side by side helps to tell different aspects of Conker as a character too. Now let's talk about the much awaited pricing. How much are you going to cost, buddy? For the standard edition of Soldier Conker, the price is as follows and will be available for pre-order on our website, first4figures.com, and at your local retailer. For the exclusive edition of Soldier Conker, the price is as follows and is available for pre-order only on our website, first4figures.com. This edition will include 2 LED modes, static and animated. For the definitive edition of Soldier Conker, the price is as follows and is available for pre-order only on our website, first4figures.com. This edition will include 2 LED modes, static and animated, as well as a base with added details inspired from the 8th chapter in the video game, It's War. So, to recap, these are the prices for all editions. All prices indicated here exclude local taxes and shipping. So for example, the EU, UK, and Australia regions, prices will look different on our website, as they are already inclusive of sales tax. We are running an early bird offer till this day, so be sure to place your orders quickly within that time frame to take advantage of this limited time offer. For website pre-orders, we offer payment plans with extra fees for those who wish to purchase in installments. We also have warehouses in the following locations, which means no import fees for these regions. Shipping costs to your country are estimated at checkout time. The final cost will be shown on the invoice, which will be sent to your registered email when your order is ready to ship. Thank you for joining us in our launch stream for our Soldier Conker resin statue. Check us out on our website, first4figures.com, for more details, and follow us on our social media channels so you don't miss out on future Conker's Bad Fur Day news and teasers. We also have an amazing community on Facebook called the First 4 Figures Official Collectors Club, where we chat with our members, run polls, post behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and much more. So don't forget to check us out! Lastly, pre-orders are now open. Links are in the description. That concludes today's launch stream. Thanks guys for joining us today. F4F is love, F4F is life, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye!
This is gonna be interesting. What's going on there? Hello? I think he's died. Are you dead?